Welcome back to Cooking with Chef Gordon. Our last episode, we worked with vegetable cuts, French, basic technique and methodology that we use for separating the home cook from the professional cook. This week I want to work with chicken, and we're going to combine those two elements to show you what you can do with what we worked with the last time around. Chicken, we go to the store and we buy it cut. 8-piece cut, quarters, halves. It's a lot cheaper to buy a whole chicken and cut it yourself, and it's really not that difficult. So this is one of the things here at the school. One of the last tasks is to pass a test on how to cut one of these chickens. And we're not going to just do 8-piece cut. Let me show you what we've got in mind. I like to work with the wings. Come 2 joints down. Just going to cut right through that. And before we start, use a boning knife. This is sharp, thin, flexible, and it works really good for boning out poultry. You get a good one for 20 bucks. It'll last you forever. I'll go ahead and take off that nib. That's for stock. That's for buffalo wings. Everybody likes buffalo wings. Same thing on the opposite side. Okay, and you're just looking for the joint where the joints meet. And where the bones meet, you have a joint. That's where you're going to cut through. All right, we're going to swing it around, and we're going to cut through the fat, the skin, on the opposite side of the breast. You want to leave as much skin on the breast as you can. I'm going to break this open. Listen for the snap. I'm going to flip it over. There are 2 oysters. We call them oysters. They're fleshy pieces of meat, really nice off the backbone. We want to try to get those in one fell swoop. You leave it on the chicken, you're losing out on a nice piece of meat. So we're going to come up, and we're going to just take your knife, and you see what's great about that knife, how it's shaped. You can get right in there and cut that out. You see how it pops right out? Now we're going to come back around, and we're just going to cut on the other side of that joint, and there you go. There's a quarter. And the same thing on the opposite side. We come up, you see the oyster right there. We're just going to cut up against the bone, get that out of there. Okay, so 2 quarters. Now you're probably wondering what these are for. I'm going to show you now. I want to go ahead, leaving the wing attached. I'm just going to work the knife down on the breastplate. And we're just going to take the edge of the knife and work it up against the bone and cut the flesh away. It's like filleting a fish. Same thing. See how it comes off of there really nice and neat? And it's okay to leave a little meat on there because we're going to make stock out of this. So there's your first breast. Come back around. Same thing here. Leave your skin. I'm just going to cut through that wing. Now, this is for soup. Don't throw this away. So you're going to get a lot of meals out of this. It's not just a chicken dinner. So I'm going to put this to the side. Now, what we want to do here is we're going to do a technique called Frenching. There's your bone from your wing joint. We're just going to take your sharp edge of your knife and run it all the way around to dislodge that meat from the bone. And come back. We're going to scrape it up towards the nib. Okay. I just happen to have a cleaver. You can use a big knife if you have one, a boning knife or a chef's knife. And so that's a French breast. Boneless, skinless. Take the skin off. Okay. This is where the tenderloin resides, or the fillet. That comes out. You can do chicken tenders. You know, you do a chicken a week, 2 chickens a week, and build up your tenders, freeze them, and then have chicken fingers for the kids later on. So there's a nice skinless, boneless breast. There's your Frenched breast. Now the last thing I'm going to show you here, I'm going to separate the leg from the thigh. Leg from the thigh. And I like to debone the thigh. It cooks quicker, and you can stuff these. You know, you could buy a box of stovetop stuffing, you know, and use that to, look, I'm just scraping the bone. That's all I'm doing. Comes out in a heartbeat. You can always come back through and trim up the pieces of fat around here in the skin, get rid of them, make them nice and clean and neat, and there you go. Easy way to cut chicken, right here at the studio. Thanks.